So let's talk about the spring.
Finally had a spring. The spring is prime.
Yeah, and spring's a tough one. I'll admit, because missing last year, you went from sophomores to seniors.
Yeah, we can see
a lot of our kids. I mean, they grew up a lot over the year and look completely different. And obviously, missing that junior season so difficult. But I mean, it's great to see the success they've had so far. So let's talk a little bit about boys tennis.
Boys tennis, you can almost take the whole thing and just throw them into almost their whole team and throw them into a breakthrough athlete. I mean, if you think about giving that whole year, Kyle Boland, great year. Stepping in as #1 singles, that's not easy,
Yeah, I think at the high school level, when you take quarterback, obviously gets a lot of notoriety. But you talk about the #1 singles in tennis is one of the most difficult positions in all sports.
No matter what team you're playing, they have a dude at #1 singles.
And you're always on.
Yeah.
So, have Talia in the fall representing us, to have Kyle in the spring, big serves from both of them. It's high level tennis.
I couldn't beat him. I know I couldn't.
No.
Yeah,
you
I think so.
So we talked boys tennis. Let's talk a little bit about boys volleyball. So Coach Chris Hubbard, in his rookie season as head coach.
Yeah, exciting first year, major accomplishment. I mean, what do you do if you finish second in the league in your first year? I guess there's only one spot to move up.
You go first.
Yeah, I guess
that's what you do.
Yeah. So that's it's your fault for doing so well your first year.
We're going for first next year. But a talented senior class.
Yeah.
Again, we see the senior class, but it's 9 seniors for boys volleyball. You talk about, you'll see some names tonight, but Buis.
Brendan had a great year. It's just fun to watch Brendan. Just how when you're so skilled at stuff. I mean, he could hit. He never comes off the floor. He sets for a lot of the year. And how many people that are just got something in their face because of him this year? It's so hard.
Jagger. So you'll see him for greatly improved. But I mean, just to see where he was. Again, we missed these guys for a year, so we see where he was as a sophomore, where he is now. Amazing, and even how much he's progressed during the season.
And all those seniors fit into different roles, and all of them run. I mean, when you see guys that are just running in for certain plays and certain things to fit into that role, it's great. Great seniors to do that.
Carl, JJ. I mean, we could keep going.
Yeah, JJ's vastly improved. Had a great year. The jump serve, I see you do, JJ. It's just amazing.
But then at the same time, you got some spring, especially boys volleyball, allows for some new characters to come in. So got Michael Swanson protecting the net, so the Swans. Continuing, they might as well just stay in the arena, right?
Just stay there.
It was fun in the winter. Let's just stay for the spring.
And he's improved his athleticism, the movement that he has now just to play volleyball. It's a great thing to play another sport and improve in some of the things that you really enjoy doing.
But to be second in the league, man, what a year.
Yeah, great year.
Let's take it outside again. Let's talk softball. Jessie Matthews, you'll see her represented a couple of times, breakthrough athlete. She gets a nomination for female athlete of the year. Crushes the ball. Rachel Campbell, you'll see her in a minute, the Grand Slam.
Rachel's again one of those athletes that's been around for a long time, played multiple sports throughout her high school career, played softball for several years now, and so has had a great year. We've had a couple of freshmen that have stepped in on varsity athletes too. I have Carly in class. She does a great job. I saw her hit a couple home runs in the game already.
She had the 2 home run game earlier in the year. It's a fun year. Coach Steger's done a great job, and especially missing last year to have the success they've had, being in every single ball game. Fun times over at Nillis.
Really surprising, great year.
Walk across the bridge to baseball.
I love that walk.
Great view, obviously there. But
that's what I think about our senior athletes. One of the most is I think about the senior class of baseball players, and it's the transformation that they have done just in their bodies and the thing that they put into the weight room. And now you're seeing them out there actually getting the work done, and how it's paying off individually for them. And they've had some great wins and they've had some tough losses, and that's what I would say about their season so far. And we are hoping that we can put this thing into a tournament run and do something.
You think of the names again. It's very similar crew to girls soccer. And these are the names again that you're just going to hear over and over and over again. Murphy, Barrios, Singer, right? I mean, I could go on and on, but these are guys that when we talk about the foundation of a program, very similar to football in some ways. These are guys that we really hope come back a lot. We hope we're watching games with them in 3 or 4 years. Years from now, we're watching games with them and their kids.
if Colin, you and Ricky aren't splitting the atom someday doing something great, you can come back and coach for us anytime. I love you guys. You're fun to be around. It's been a great, great year to have, years to have you around.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about lacrosse, our newest sport that we have here. Let's talk about boys lacrosse. I mean, they've had, just a few weeks ago, first GMC win in school history.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's a huge feat.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
you can't say enough about that.
Look at the GMC lacrosse standings sometimes and see what teams we don't have playing lacrosse. That some of us do beat up on us with sports sometimes, you know what I mean? And those teams don't have lacrosse teams. So when you're competing in lacrosse, you're competing against Sycamore, you're competing against Mason, you're competing against the Lakotas. That's your competition on a nightly basis. And so it's not an easy thing to say, okay, well, this win's coming. That doesn't happen in lacrosse. So.
And I think the thing with lacrosse is those guys, some of those programs have been around for so long, they've been playing forever. But I can't say enough about John and Clay as our coaches and how much work they put into it. But to have some kids that are playing lacrosse here and going to play at the next level. I mean, we talk about Corey Gross going to Belmont Abbey, beautiful North Carolina. And obviously the success that they've had. Max Reed, we talked about performance, a record-breaking performance. He comes out there, just a great crew of guys. I've talked to Clay a lot. I mean, this is the kind of crew that you can build a really solid.
And he will. I really trust it. And our girls lacrosse has always been fun to watch, and they really stepped into last year hoping that season would be one of their special years, and then to lose those seniors. Then they had a bunch of people have to accept new roles and step into positions and build around Marissa, who's one of the best players in our league. Going to go to a pretty good school. If you can't go to West Point, it's good to go to the Naval Academy, I guess. It's not a bad thing. But she's had a great year all around for multiple sports.
Yeah, we'll see Marissa nominated here again later for Female Athlete of the Year. Again, Emmons, is a freshman lacrosse who, plays a lot and scored. Had some great games, and so that's been a lot of fun. We'll take it to our fastest athletes, last but not least.
It's had a great track season so far.
Yes.
Man. Our girls' season had some, had some good individual meets and individual competitions for that.
Yeah. So you'll hear Henley Krause talk about a good bit with some of the field events.
Yeah, she's been a jumper. She's put a lot of work into that.
Jada Irwin, are you going to let anyone else win a race? I mean, my goodness.
She wins every one.
It's a freshman. Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So. And then our boys team has put together, it just seems like everything we go to, we're first or second in every meet right now. And a lot of those have really good teams involved with it. So I can't wait, man. I just can't wait to that. If you get nothing going on, I don't know what tickets we like for that, but the GMC, league meet is going to be great for our boys team. It's going to be a fun thing to watch.
Yeah. Actually, that will have already happened.
Oh, well, let me forecast then what's going to happen with that. It's going. I bet it was great.
It was great.
Okay.
So I can't wait. But you'll see here in a little bit the play of the year nominee. Very rarely do you see something and you and I look at each other and say, hey, that is the potential play of the year. But I remember texting you and Lori and folks and saying, this is it. I just saw potential play of the year, the relay team.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Come on.
But it's great. We, Coach Kimberly, Coach Krause, the crew that surrounded those guys. I can't say enough good things about the direction that program.
In our track program, you have to have athletes that play multiple sports. That's a really good thing. It's people have stepped into that and say, hey, it's spring. I know I could not play a sport, but I want to step in and I want to compete again. I want to do something else and be very good at it. Not just go out there and do stuff, but be very good at it. I think it's made it successful.
Yeah. So fun year.